Okay, so obviously you're going to be learning the clarinet.
Yes.
You never played a wind instrument.
Absolutely not. I played the recorder, but that's not. I don't think that's a wind instrument. It was like 5th grade, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, anyway. I think that everybody in the world has done that, so okay, yeah, I don't think it matters.
Cool.
So what we're going to do first is just open it up.
Okay, cool.
You do have it faced in the right way, so that's good. You press a little... Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Okay, so here it is in all its different pieces. What we're going to start with is the mouthpiece, which is this part.
Okay.
And we're going to take it out, and it has a housing on it. We don't need that. Put that back in there.
Okay.
We have the mouthpiece and the ligature. The ligature comes off, obviously. There's a little plastic thing in there with a little wooden piece in there. Yeah, that is your reed.
Exciting.
So, how these work is you have to get them wet.
Okay.
With yourself. So, a lot of people, what they do is they just soak it, but you don't really need to. All you really need to do with the thin side is just do it once. And then the rest of the time can really be spent in your mouth on the back side, which is the bark of the reed.
The bark of the reed? Okay.
Yeah. So just pop it in your mouth.
The thick?
Yeah. Just like
oh my god.
Oh, it's a serious thing.
Oh god.
So while we're doing that, we're going to take our mouthpiece and we're going to assemble what is called the small piece. So just those two together is the small piece. So what that'll do is that'll give us a pitch, but then that's it.
Okay.
So go ahead and flip it around.
Like this?
Well, all over.
Oh, okay, all over.
All over pretty much. So there we go. So what we're doing right now is we've assembled a small piece, and you see the lines on there? On the mouthpiece itself. There's two right there and there's one right there.
Yeah.
We want the ligature to sit in between those lines, directly in the middle, and it's going to hold the reed right there. This is called the window and table of the mouthpiece. Probably got that wrong. Oh.
Table and the window.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. So the thin part is down here?
No, the thin part is at the top.
Okay, this is
exactly. So then what we do is we try to, when we press down, have a little sliver up there. This is what I think is the hardest part, because clarinets tend to scream at you if you don't have the right thing.
Okay, aggressive instruments, we stand.
So the top is kind of loose, and the bottom holds all the fulcrum of the reed.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
what is science?
looks good? Looks good to you?
Yeah, I mean...
Alright. So what we're going to do now is just hold the small piece. We don't need the rest of the instrument just yet. So I'll close that so it doesn't go away. And we're going to hold it up just with either hand. Other way.
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as we form the embouchure, which is just what the hole in your mouth is, we want firm corners.
Okay.
We don't want tight corners, because tight we tend to think intention. So we want tight corners, and we want the top teeth on the slope of the mouthpiece right there.
Okay.
We want it to actually make contact with that part. And I'm demonstrating with my thumb because I don't have another clarinet.
Right.
But with our bottom teeth, we want to curl over, the lip curl over, and touch the reed, which is my fingernail.
Right.
And we want to bite in with, don't bite, but we want to come in contact, because if we bite, then we squeak.
Okay.
All parts of this instrument tend to scream at you if you don't get it right.
Okay.
So that's good.
Okay.
If it's not doing...
So you know when you're doing something wrong.
If it's not doing anything, then you're doing everything wrong.
Okay.
But if it's screaming at you, that means that you're doing something right, but something else is not quite there.
Okay.
So see if we can just make a noise. So like feet flat on the ground. Have the small piece all together at a 35 degree. Yeah, that's too little.
Okay.
And then like this is too much.
Okay.
So maybe right in there.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Get everything firm like you want it, and see if you can just blow.
No. Is it supposed to make a noise?
Yes. It's supposed to make noise.
Like an actual noise, not a blowing noise.
Not a blowing.
Okay.
Yeah. So what just happened there is everything was too loose.
Okay.
There's not enough. I'm gonna say tension because that's the only way I can really describe it. There's not enough tension in the lip over the teeth.
Okay.
And here.
Okay.
Everything else is
What's the face I should be making?
Exactly like that. Yeah, use the mirror.
Okay,
I use the mirror every day with it.
Okay. Okay, so.
Yeah. Pitch your chin down. Yeah.
This isn't. Okay.
Alright. Go like this. Yeah. We want that tight.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. See if you can bite. The trick that I did, something that kind of makes sense to me, is pulling. It might not be entirely ethical. Don't look, Dr. Whitaker. It might not be entirely ethical, but for me, what it helped was pushing the clarinet against my upper teeth.
Okay. 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 How?
So like that. See if we can get this tighter.
Tighter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a squeak. That was a squeak. So
but it was something.
Yeah, so what that means is that air went over the reed.
Okay.
It didn't go where it was supposed to though.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be you'll know. Right. So that's a little bit too high.
Okay.
So what that might mean is that this is not tight enough.
Okay.
Really, just a lot of it is just like
adjusting,
fiddling with it.
Okay.
Like once you get it, you'll get it every time.
Okay.
Also, where your spit is left,
right.
There's not enough peace.
Okay.
There's not enough peace in your mouth. So
okay.
if you go a little bit more in there, not too much.
Okay.
Because then you'll end up swallowing it.
Right.
If you go a little bit more and angle. Let me see your angle again.
My angle. Okay. Because I'm so good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because once you get this, we can move on to that like nobody's business.
Okay. Wait. What was the correct angle?
35 degrees
okay.
from there.
So here, maybe? Here?
It's not so much about your angle, what I'm seeing, is I'm seeing it needs to be tighter here.
Okay. Was that
Close.
something? Okay.
That was closer.
Okay.
As soon as you started blowing though, this went away.
Okay.
So it's gonna be uncomfortable.
Okay, cool.
Because like you've never done this before.
I have never done this before.
Yeah.
I'm just excited that I'm making noise. Okay.
All right, that's not the correct note.
Okay, cool.
That's a little bit higher than what it should be, but
okay. So how would I just know? Do I do that? Or
what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring the rest of the instrument into play,
okay.
and hopefully it'll correct itself.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So moving on to that's the small piece.
Yes.
What it also could be is that your reed is a little bit too dry.
Okay.
So like just as we're doing this, just lick it, like literally just lick it.
Okay.
That's the best way to keep it wet.
Okay.
All right. So the rest of it goes onto the small piece. So
okay.
this is one of the top joints.
Okay. Is this the top one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
it goes in like that. The way you can see is our lovely Yamaha sponsors love to put their brands together.
Remember, yes.
So
#spons.
So that's your top hand.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
So I'll let you.
Is my left hand my top hand?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll let you assemble the rest.
Okay. Cool.
This is the bottom joint.
Oh, okay. Like that.
So a lovely part about this, and by lovely I mean annoying, this needs to be pressed down for this to connect, because you see that little.
Okay.
This is called the bridge key.
Yeah.
And you'll mess it up in a heartbeat.
Joyous.
So do you see where it intersects? There. It goes over that bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, cool.
All right.
Dope.
Yeah. And one thing that's really important that I find really hard to do is when you put together a clarinet, not to just muscle down on these. These are called the rods, and they are fragile if you just muscle them.
Okay, well, muscle the instrument.
Yeah. A trick that Avery taught me, or Professor Baumgartner taught me, is that when you're putting together any woodwind instrument, really, where you place your fingers when you're playing is generally a safe thing.
Okay.
So, like, if I grip it right there, it's generally safe.
Okay.
But if I grip it right there,
probably not.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the bell doesn't need to be aligned, really, because
Okay.
it's just
It
nothing's
just needs to
nothing's
go in there?
intersecting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I need to stop grabbing.
I tend to rotate it out of spite.
Just.
And that's it, really.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have an
So
instrument.
now you have the full instrument together.
Okay.
This,
Okay.
I'll just see if I can show you how to hold it. So, all the weight of the clarinet is supported on 2 contact points, your face and your thumb,
Okay.
right? Thumb right there, right in that little uncomfortable fleshy point where your nail meets your flesh.
Okay.
And your face right there.
Okay.
Your thumb also goes there for most notes on the back. Show the camera. On the back right there. And you'll end up moving and stuff when you become professional.
Right, yeah.
But for right now,
immediately after this.
for right now, all you need to worry about is the 2 contact points is your face and here.
Okay.
And then everything else tends to hover
Hover.
over these notes. As you can see, a lot of these are dependent keys, meaning, what do you think that means?
It means that it needs some sort of finger to go over it. So
Sort of.
Okay.
So like
Like it's a hole in the instrument that you have to.
or if I'm pressing this one, this one also moves.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of science behind that I'm not going to go into.
That's
but,
fine.
Yeah, see if you can hold it.
Okay. So here,
Yeah.
right?
And
We're
it
just
seems
hovering.
to be very, yeah, that, and then the pinky can sort of hover over all these 4.
Okay. Lots of hovering.
Yeah.
And then just more hovering.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Am I missing? Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Your pinky goes here.
Okay.
Yeah, pinkies hover over these.
Okay.
It looked weird.
Yeah.
It was very strange.
Can imagine.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So that's there, and then that's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, because yeah, okay. So that's how you hold it. The note we're going to start on is you're going to push down this button,
Okay.
this hole, this hole, this hole, and this one.
That
and
one?
these you can just sort of hover.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like recorder in the fashion that you got to cover the whole hole
Okay.
or else it'll scream it.
Right.
Just like normal. All right, see if you can do the same thing that we did. Proper angle, everything. I
Okay.
think that was that you? Yeah, see if
Okay.
you can just,
We're gonna give it a shot. Okay. Give it a go. All right. So
right. So that's,
it's screaming at me.
so that's a good sign that you're putting the right air.
Okay.
You're putting, you're doing a number of right things.
Okay.
But what that could mean, since we've added fingers to it, is that you're not covering
Okay.
properly.
Cool.
And that'll come back to bite you. Like, I'll be wrestling that clarinet and I just don't have anything covered.
Okay.
Like, I think I do. I think I really, really do, but I don't.
Okay. We're gonna
So,
try it again.
Yeah. See if you can pitch yourself forward a little bit, because we want to fill the whole air cavity. We
Okay.
want to slouch our chin.
Okay.
You know how, like, when you cry and your chin does that kind of like, ooh, thing?
Yeah.
That.
Okay.
We want that.
Okay.
Because what that's going to do is that's going to pitch this and immediately put tension on this skin, and that's really going to help.
Okay.
with this. Yeah.
Okay.
If you can do that.
Crying. Okay. No.
Right.
Okay. But
So I saw you adjusting angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
Is that a
like
good
if
thing?
yes.
Okay.
That means that you're trying to fix something.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. See
Cool.
if we can get that note.
Okay. Cool.